when I'm doing this. Hey, I got a Crossverses battle for you guys today. And it is one that may come to be surprising to some people who haven't watched both animes. But I'm here to let you know how it shakes down. We have Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. Everybody knows Hisoka, yeah, that guy who's, known as the magician, and he's great at using men. He's one of the better characters in that series. And we have Suzuki from Yu Yu Hakusho, which you may not know. And if you do know, you're like, oh, that guy? Yeah, that guy. When I try to do these matchups, I try to make them either close or people who have like similar kind of like monikers or vibes. Now, this guy, Suzuki, isn't really like Hisoka in the ways of, finding potential, fighters to, groom or whatever the fuck, but he's, a guy who, he clowns around and shit like that. Hisoka kind of plays with people a little bit. So I decided to, have them fight one another. But you guys might be surprised about the outcome. Strength. Oh, well, first scenario, Hunter x Hunter, they'll be at Heaven's Arena. And the second scenario, they'll be at the Dark Tournament Arena at Hanging Neck Island. So, in the first scenario, strength goes to Suzuki. I know, Suzuki popped out with his muscles and he was showing them off to Genkai, and, he wasn't really like that or whatever. But, you got to remember, he trained again and he was actually prepared for, or somewhat more prepared for, the Demon World Tournament, and where there were more powerful opponents there. S-class demons. And he was basically at the bare minimum. He was at the bottom of the totem pole, but he was considered S-class by that point. His strength is like that. And if we know about what S-class means, right, what that entails, oh my God, this guy, he's strong. Speed goes to Suzuki as well. Hisoka, he's fast, but his world is not like the Yu Yu Hakusho world. Like I said, when you get to like S-class, A-class rank, you are beyond, continental country level. You could, dismantle the world, Hisoka's not doing that. Speed-wise, not as fast. Not fast. Compared to this guy. Durability-wise, believe it or not, Suzuki is actually more durable. And I know he got his ass beat by Genkai, but remember, Genkai has experience and she's not, and she ain't in her prime or anything, but she's not a, the kind of old woman that's like, oh, can you go grab that for me? She's like, I can grab that shit. I don't need you to do shit for me. That's how Genkai is, right? And he survived that fight, right? But he's also, see, we're getting to that. Endurance goes to Suzuki as well. He had to endure Genkai's training to become like an S-class. He's not S-class, y'all. He is actually high A-class. Teetering on S-class levels. And he got that way because he trained with Genkai. And she puts, how she puts people through training. Her training regimen is not easy. If he can endure that, he can endure a fight with Hisoka. That's not as long. Intelligence-wise, though, I do give it to Hisoka. Hisoka, he's a smart guy. He knows how to use his Nen abilities. And, he would have to use them in this fight. He can't play with his food in this fight. He can't. That guy might be a clown, but it's one of those things where Hisoka is smart enough to know, okay, yeah, he's a clown or whatever, but he's actually a jester similar to me. He's actually trying to play games with me, but Hisoka's kind of intrigued too at the same time, not knowing that this guy is actually hiding more than. But he is smarter than this guy. He is. And he actually has, more experience. Um, debatable, I guess, but we'll give it to Hisoka. Why? Because we've seen him fight so many people in Hunter x Hunter. That guy lives to just, challenge himself. Close skills wise, I give that shit to Suzuki, even though he got beat down by Genkai. But Genkai, she's a martial artist too. She knows the martial arts. So, and he don't, but he's a little bit of a boxer, slightly. Range skills go to Hisoka. He has that bungee gun. If he gets lucky and he grabs this guy, boom, he can grab him, slam him into shit. Hisoka's smarter than this guy, so he could I guess, put some bungee gum up somewhere. He can't see it. Boom, he runs into it. He's grabbed up. It has the properties of gum and rubber. Recovery, I give it to Hisoka. He got his arm stitched back on. And I know the manga says some other things about the guy, but we're going off of anime feeds only. And he's still got, his arms repaired. And this guy don't have any healing abilities per se. Suzuki. Hacks wise, I give it to Suzuki, and it's not because of this is how I do it. Like I already told you guys. There's people who have a lot of tools, right? They have a lot of abilities, but then it's in this situation, in other situations, it's I get where you guys might be coming from if you're, making your videos and you're saying, well, I would give the hacks to that guy. Well, I'm saying this. The hacks actually go to the other guy because his demon energy, he has so much energy at his disposal, man. Compared to Hisoka's pool of Nen, his destructive power, it overcomes that shit. It does. Because really, this guy, and he's dumb too, but this guy could basically, Hisoka tries to pull on this guy, and this guy can basically pull Hisoka in and just start bam, bam, hitting this guy. No bullshit, man. He could Hisoka grabs him with the bungee gum, tries to pull him in, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna pull you in, and I'm gonna start beating on you. And he's actually gonna do some damage too. Environment-wise, it goes to Hisoka. Since the first match is in the Heavens Arena, he's fought there before. But the second scenario, Suzuki has strength, speed, durability, endurance. Intelligence goes to Hisoka. Experience goes to Hisoka. Close skills go to Suzuki. Range skills go to Hisoka. Recovery goes to Hisoka. And hacks go to Suzuki. With the environment going to Suzuki too, because Hanging Neck Island and he's fought there before. But the result of this fight is gonna be mid difficulty. Suzuki wins mid difficulty because we're going based off of his, full powered form. And after the training with Genkai at the end of the series, he was actually on, high A class levels, approaching S class levels of power. And if you know what an S class is, you know that shit's planetary. Even the weakest S class demon's planetary. So that guy is definitely beating Hisoka. And it's crazy too, because he's just a side character. I'll make more videos like this just to illustrate, how powerful certain characters are compared to other people. And I get it. This guy, I don't even like, Suzuki that much myself. Out of that team, I probably like Shishiwaka more because he holds a sword. And even out of that team, I don't really fuck with that team that much from the Dark Tournament. Yeah, he's not even my favorite character. That's not how this works. I know the scaling with that series and this series, and that's how this shit goes. But let me know what you think in the comments. Anything. If you agree, disagree, just let me know. All right? And be cool, call in the corner.